Now let's get started with number 1. Can you imagine for a second Sasuke not existing? Well, in the original conception of the Naruto series, Sasuke didn't exist. Only after Kishimoto spoke to one of his editors about the future of the series and the direction it will be taking, he was advised to create a character which could be a rival for Naruto, and this resulted in Sasuke's creation. Number 2. Sasuke was named after Sasuke Sarutobi, which is the third Hokage's father. The name Sasuke Sarutobi is inspired by a fictional ninja named Sarutobi Sasuke, who appears in fictional Japanese narratives which involves 10 ninjas that helped during the Japanese Civil War era from 1467 to 1603. Number 3. Kishimoto was mainly inspired to create Sasuke based on Hiei's character from the manga series Yu Yu Hakusho. Sasuke's design gave Kishimoto a number of problems, making him the most difficult character he has ever had to create. Sasuke's attire, for example, in its original design, Sasuke had a number of necklaces and ties around his arms and legs. But Kishimoto later realized that he needed to simplify the design and make it a basic contrast of Naruto's costume, because it would be way too difficult to draw this on a weekly basis. For Kishimoto, Sasuke remains the most difficult character for him to draw, and Sasuke received a new costume during the final portion of the Chunin exam arc, if you can remember, which featured a number of belts strapped around his arms and legs. But due to the time it was needed for Kishimoto to draw the costume of this design, he returned Sasuke's original costume back to its normal state. And eventually Kishimoto also stated that Sasuke became his favorite character to draw. Number 4. In the beginning of the Naruto series, Sasuke is 150 centimeters tall, and in Shippuden he grows to be 168 centimeters tall, which is roughly around 2 to 2.5 years later. And finally, in the last movie, he is 182 centimeters tall, which is a 31.2 centimeter growth over 7 years. Number 5. Sasuke belongs to the Uchiha clan, right? Uchiha is another way of pronouncing the word Uchiha-wa, which is the clan symbol which we see in the anime and in the manga. Uchiha-wa are used to fan flames, making a flame hotter. If you can think about barbecues for a second to put it into perspective. Anyways, this refers to the fact that members of the Uchiha are known for their fire style techniques. I personally also believe it also connotes to the fiery type nature that Uchihas generally have, where if they trigger more emotion, the more powerful they become, the hotter the flame becomes within the inside, and they get better Sharingan, third Tomo. Maybe I'm thinking too much into it. I don't know if Kishimoto tried to connote this, but that's just my way of thinking. Number 6. Sasuke doesn't address anyone with honorifics. The most common used honorifics, for example, we see in the anime are Chan, Ni-san, Kun, Sama, Senpai, Sensei, which is essentially embedded in Japanese culture of being respectful and honorable. However, Sasuke only uses these honorifics with Itachi, his parents and clan members. He would, for example, you would never notice him saying Kakashi Sensei or Rachumaru-sama, which in Japanese culture people will consider very insulting. Coming in at number 7, Sasuke's sword, which he wields and uses various battles, is a Chikuto sword, which is a straight 1-inch Japanese sword that was produced prior to the 10th century. It's highly suggested that Orochimaru probably gave the sword to Sasuke, and however Sasuke's sword doesn't possess any special characteristic, unlike Orochimaru's sword of Kusunagi, which is one of 3 legendary swords that we know. However, Sasuke can infuse his electric chakra into it, giving him some sort of benefit from using it, such as extending his range. At number 8, this one is pretty easy to presume. Anyways, Sasuke's favorite hobbies are training and taking walks. I think this is more evident as the last chapter of the Naruto emphasizes this, as he leaves Konoha to go on a journey on his own for a number of months or years. And by the way, Sasuke's favorite fruits are omusubi and okaka and tomatoes, while his least favorite foods are natto and anything sweet. So I guess he must be taking these sort of supplies on his journeys. Coming in at number 9, Sasuke is ambidextrous, meaning he can use both his left hand and his right hand. Typically he punches and uses Chidori on his left hand, and he wields his sword with his right hand. And it's also worth mentioning, when the Sage of Six Paths asked him to raise his dominant arm, he chose his left hand, so this implies that Sasuke is actually a lefty. And coming in at number 10, Sasuke had the highest grade in ninjutsu, taijutsu and genjutsu. However, he had also had the lowest grade in cooperation and assertiveness in the academy. This overall led his average to go down, and this made him end up in Team 7 with Naruto and Sakura, because he would have the highest grade but Naruto would have the lowest grade in the departments that Naruto was bad at. So this would make them have destiny and fate, and they had to end up together. And it's kind of pretty easy to understand that he has problems in those areas due to the past history he had with his clan and his, as he would put it, his desire to kill a certain someone. Anyway, guys, that's the end of it. I hope you guys learned something about your favorite character, Sasuke Uchiha, and check out other videos that we've covered on Naruto or other animes in general, such as One Piece and Future Trunks. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.